Now, way back, we kept asking questions, what are derivatives? And you look at Google and you try to find out what they say are derivatives. It's based on some kind of complicated, confused Black-Scholes or other kind of configurations beyond the comprehension. So it is that there are some very critical questions that we have to ask. Now, mind you, the most important is to recognize the fact that these questions are not just with respect to debits and credits. It's with respect to the very tower. It's an inspired tower, going back to just about the time of the Enlightenment when the Constitution was conceived of. Delegation of power with reciprocal accountability. Therefore, what we're talking about is not subject for the consideration of management school only. That is the reason why I was looking forward to being at the university, to see the unity and the variety of experiences. Now, there's more what you could say on that, but I want to touch on two other things. If you indulge you a few more minutes. Two things that similarly has some major thrust, at least in my mind. If it's going to be a valedictory, it has to be clear on my mind. The first starts with Joe the plumber. Yes, Joe the plumber. Joe the plumber might very well stand for Abe, the bookkeeper, back in the 30s or 20s, who aspired to be a bookkeeper. And then eventually Abe aspired to be a CPA. And then Abe aspired to be a teacher of bookkeeping. Just like Joe, the plumber, aspired to be. And that's beautiful and consistent with the American dream. And I would say it's consistent with the American dream, like with Philip Piaka, because I remember him coming out of the war, still with those boots that he had, because that's all he had to wear as a fellow in the department, skinny, like anything, and aspiring, and then you know what it is. But then someone should have sat down with Joe the plumber and said, Joe, you're right. That's the American dream. But Joe, somewhere in St. Luke, it says, those to whom much is given, much is expected. Joe, we want you to get those $240,000. And Joe, we're going to work with you to get that. We're going to make the American dream come true so that you'll be hiring thousands after thousands of people, because that's exactly how things happened. That's how, for example, Google happened. They got the internet from the government for free, and this is what they got. We want it to happen. That makes America great. But then, Joe, St. Luke, after you have it, why do you then fail to want to understand?